Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is, of course, a brand new week, and that means we got some new updates coming to Warzone and Cold War, potentially Modern Warfare, and we also have some more hands-on time with Vanguard coming up as well. And in addition to all that, over the weekend, we also saw a handful of new mini updates go live in Warzone that included some weapon tuning, some updates to zombies camos, and even more. So as we go over everything today, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Goal for this one is going to be 3,000 likes. Would seriously appreciate it if we could hit that mark. And of course, if you're new to the channel, apparently about 15,000 new viewers every single day are checking out the vids for the first time. So if that's you and you want to stay up to date with absolutely everything going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips, this is the place to be. So feel free to hit that sub button and click that bell icon. That way you'll always know whenever a new video goes live. So first up, let's go over some of the mini updates that ended up going live in Warzone over the last few days. Obviously, we just had the major Season 5 Reloaded update drop last Wednesday / last Thursday, but after that, Raven actually put out a few smaller updates to change things up even more. Initially, they added in some new weapon tuning, this time just aimed specifically at the DMR 14. As we know, this actually got a recoil rework in the mid-season updates that made it way easier to land shots consistently. Like, the recoil really is not all that noticeable anymore when you spam this thing. I'm sure some of you have seen some clips of players just going nuts with the DMR close range. It's actually kind of crazy. It's really not too bad for a lot of high skill players that can get that fire rate a bit higher, sort of spam their trigger or their mouse faster. But actually, this first mini update did end up nerfing the damage on the DMR a little bit. They actually reduced the neck multiplier and the upper torso multiplier, but in all reality, this more so affects the damage at a range once those damage drop-offs start to occur. This nerf doesn't really punish it up close too much, so if you want to try this out as like a close range secondary with something like a Pharah or even like a sniper, or just as a crazy primary that is just run and gun based, the potential for it to be really good is still there. But in sort of the same way that the FAL has also always had some crazy potential, semi-auto weapons just really aren't a huge appeal to a lot of players, since they do take a lot more skill and patience and time to master for a lot of the fights you're gonna end up being in. So it's high risk, high reward, and of course over range it's not going to be as good because of those multiplier nerfs. Now, that first mini update also had some bug fixes included in it as well. Raven fixed an issue with the seasonal progression menu icons, an issue causing some weapons to be found in boxes or as ground loot to change their rarity after a player picked them up, an issue with the HUD elements being misaligned, then also an issue with dynamic weapon icons across the board. So honestly, nothing too crazy with those. But then a little after that first update went live, Raven actually tweeted about another new mini update that dropped, so we've been getting quite a few updates. This one actually ended up fixing an issue that caused some previously locked zombies content to remain locked in Warzone. But in order to fix this one, you actually have to go into Cold War and launch that game itself. So if you had a zombies camo unlocked in Cold War that wasn't unlocking in Warzone for whatever reason, now if you go in and launch Cold War, it should fix itself, and you can make sure you have all your camos and reticles and whatever else it may be that was previously locked for zombies content, and you'll have that all good. Now in this update, they also fixed an issue causing soap to not appear in the operator selection screen, and an issue with vehicle horns causing players' games to crash. So a few quality of life fixes in there as well, but mainly the standout change, the main change of these mini updates, is that DMR nerf. Now, moving on from that and looking more to the week ahead, we actually have a whole lot going on this week. Obviously, this coming weekend is going to be part 2 of the Vanguard beta. This to me is like the real beta experience, as Xbox, PlayStation, and PC are all going to have access to the game this upcoming weekend. Up first from the 16th to the 17th, or on the 16th and 17th. If you pre-ordered on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, you're going to get to play in the whole early access crossplay beta. And then starting on the 18th for everyone and going until the 20th, that's when the open beta will be taking place for everyone on all platforms. So if you're looking to try Vanguard for the first time on PC or Xbox, or if you played it this last weekend on PlayStation and you want to try it out on Xbox or PC, this weekend is the time to do that. If you're looking for some basic tips and info on the game in general, be sure to check out some of the videos I actually posted this past weekend. We went over some of like the best settings you want to be using, then also some weapons to look out for when you're first jumping on. So if you need some help, be sure to check out those. Then outside of the beta, we also have some stuff going on in the main games as well. In Warzone specifically, we actually have a new preview for the playlist update dropping this week, which in theory is giving us our first look at a new quote-unquote ranked mode called Iron Trials. And we have talked about this a bit before since they initially revealed it, but Raven actually previewed that starting on the 16th, we're going to see regular Battle Royale solos, trios, and quads. We're going to have Iron Trial duos, Blood Money quads for plunder, Clash is going to be returning for another week, and then also Rebirth Island Resurgence quads as well. So a lot of options for this coming week, but the main focus here is that Iron Trials mode, which is the first time we're going to see Battle Royale gameplay really altered in the ways that this is going to change the game. And if you win any sort of Iron Trial match here, you actually get an exclusive calling card as well. So there's actually an incentive to win these matches, which is something we've never really seen before. And basically in Iron Trials, you have increased health. Regen works entirely different. There are no free loadouts after the first zone and in the fifth zone. The only way to get your custom guns is to buy a loadout at the buy station, and at the buy station, the prices are going to be increased and different. The gulag is mainly comprised of like normal primaries. There's not going to be single shot weapons or shotguns and stuff like that. And if you end up winning a gulag, you spawn back into Verdansk with whatever weapon you had in that gulag. So if you win a gulag with the PPSH, you're coming back with the PPSH. Same deal with a Farah or a Krig or whatever else you may end up getting in that gulag specifically. On top of that, they changed up the way that the zone works and the different hazardous environments in the game as well. And there's also some classified weapons you can apparently earn or find in game. They really haven't talked too much on that. And then there's also no dead silence or stopping power. I love that. No RNG stuff going on in gunfights. Snipers can only one-shot headshot if you're within 30 meters. There's only ATVs and dirt bikes for vehicles. No SUVs, no Berthas are going to be in place. So like I said, this is a very, very different take on standard Battle Royale, and personally, I'm very excited to try it out. Now, unfortunately, this week we didn't actually see any official blog post from Activision. The only thing we really saw was some news about the beta, and Vanguard obviously is going to be open for everyone as we talked about this coming weekend, so they were promoting that a bit, but no official blog for Cold War and what's coming there in terms of playlists, new modes, all sorts of stuff like that. But we do know the usual stuff is going to be coming on Thursday with the standard weekly update. We should see some new modes or some new playlist refreshes occur in Cold War multiplayer. Same deal with zombies as well. We're going to have the usual store stuff coming too. What's interesting to note is that next week should probably be a bit more of an important week in terms of content, because we're going to have the whole numbers event starting on the 21st, I believe, and I assume then we're going to get some larger, updates in terms of content between Cold War and Warzone. So in theory, it seems like next week, specifically starting on the 21st, that's when we'll see some more larger updates come to all games, whereas this week is more of a smaller week, sort of prepping for that. And obviously, they don't want to take too much focus away from the Vanguard open beta, so it seems like nothing crazy will be going on, at least in Cold War, just the standard update there, and probably the same deal over in Modern Warfare with a few new playlist updates, maybe an alternative to Shoot the Ship where we get shipment or shoot house 24/7, probably a new gunfight variant, the usual stuff, nothing too out of the ordinary there. Also, for what it's worth, if we take a look at the Trello board under the Warzone Issues tab, everything is listed as investigating, but it's all actually been fixed from my understanding. The whole zombies camo issue was apparently fixed according to the patch notes we covered earlier. Same deal with contract cash. The Xbox One issues and the game file reinstalls have been investigated for months, it seems like at this point, and they've released multiple patches to fix those. However, one thing is new here, that is the fact that there is a fixed schedule apparently for the issue with Blueprint Blitz, and that not, rewarding contracts and rewarding blueprints accordingly. So maybe they're going to actually end up allowing Blueprint Blitz to come back. It was supposed to be a cool event back in, season 4, but it was only live for like 36 hours, and then it had all these glitches and issues with it, so they removed it. So maybe that is sort of hinting at that coming back. We're going to have to wait and see, but that is a new update to the Trello board. Previously, that was not listed as fixed scheduled. But yeah, with all of that being said, that is effectively everything we know about this week's coming update, and also some of the other things that ended up changing over the past couple of days as well. That is going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, feel free to do so. That way you can always stay up to date with absolutely everything going on in COD, news, intel, updates, loadouts, tips. It is all right here. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.